You're listening to Squatch Talks Podcast. Real stories and real encounters told by real researchers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to Squatch Talks Podcast.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Wow, couldn't be any better. Truck's all better and raring to go back out into the forest. So how about you? You're getting out there, I hear.
Yeah, planting some trees, raking out some topsoil, planting some grass, getting ready to go. Up to 5 fruit trees now. So,
well, you had good weather to do it. Got to take advantage of it, before it gets too hot.
Yeah, that was a beautiful day yesterday. Yeah, wearing a blanket on my face all the time now.
Bib.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's long enough now that it's a team effort to keep it clean because I don't know when there's crumbs in there. So I actually need somebody to hey, you got a little there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta rake it out once in a while.
Yeah. Well, hey, could be worse. It could be on your own doing it, At least you have a team.
Yes.
So. Yeah. But yeah, we just wanted to come on and rehash some things. We're coming towards the end of season 3. Unbelievable as that may sound, but I think we got already 18 or 19 episodes this season. So that constitutes, in my mind, a decent amount, right? So we just want to thank everybody for hanging in there and tuning in and sharing and liking and subscribing, of course. We're actually thinking about maybe a little encouragement to see if we can get more people to share us and like us, grow the channel a bit. So I was saying to Nathan that maybe we should give away something as a prize when we get to the number 1,000 subscriber.
Yeah.
And other channels have done that, given a little incentive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that we're not having a great time, at this pace, but hey. Thinking maybe a prize like a track cast or something along those lines might be a nice win. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, I always enjoy getting a track cast.
Me too. As evidenced by my new one here on the shelf. My new pride and joy from Jeff Meldrum. But we want to thank our friends at Yeti Bars. They just came back with a new supply of our Squatch Talks Podcast Yeti Bar. That's the wrapper off my first Yeti Bar. A little sentimental keepsake. But that, and we got our Teespring store going on also. So in the description is a link for our Teespring store where you can get some cool merch and hopefully wear it proudly out in the field or in your neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for my first order to come. So we got hats and coffee mugs and shirts and hoodies and leggings, you name it. There's some cool stuff. So check it out and give us some feedback also. We appreciate it.
Right.
But yeah, man, Nathan and I have been plugging along and keeping the show going, getting near the end of season 3. And Nate's a little burnt out and enjoying the outdoors. So we're thinking with my upcoming trip out to visit family on the left coast. Hopefully I'll get to do some investigations out there. Might take a little break and hopefully you won't abandon us over that time. But I'll keep making some shorts. Hope you're enjoying them.
Yeah.
Today, I can't believe it. I put up a short about a pine snake, gets almost 800 views.
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot, 300, Go figure.
Well, they knew they were going to see a clear picture of a snake. We can't get any clear pictures of Bigfoot, so
that's a good point. I like that. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun, and I had a few minutes this morning and put it up there, and I couldn't believe it. I got that much of a response, so that's cool. Thank you for liking it. But yeah, check out our Teespring store, and we want to thank our friends also at Black Rifle Coffee Company for supercharging us, keeping us out in the field longer and later. Jacob and I are going to get out again this week for sure.
Cool.
We were out, what night was it? I forget, Friday or Saturday night. Just the two of us got back together, left the girls home this time. Quiet night. We actually, no, it started out quiet. I got some cool audio as a result. I have to review it. Now that I think about it, yeah, we had some interesting vocalizations back at the area where he got bluff charged and Andy got, samurai chatter. So I'm gonna have to review that audio, but I just thought of that. Interesting. Yeah.
It's amazing
so,
how you can forget.
Oh, we
Isn't
froze our
it?
asses off. I had brain freeze, literally. We froze our asses off to the point that at like around 11:30, I said, "Hey, let's hop in the truck for 5 minutes and put the heat on." You know what I mean? And we
It
did
was down to
that.
like 28 degrees.
Oh, at least 30. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
but we warmed up and then hopped back out again. And yeah, I definitely got some cool audio that night. So I'll have to review that and see what we picked up, because I know there was a couple that I like he one time we got barred owls. See, that was the thing. At first we got barred owls, then we had a great horned owl, and definitely canine type vocalizations. But then there was something else too. I had him do a wood knock. I'm going to put a short up of him doing a wood knock demonstration, because we had one of those forestry signs right there on the tree. So those, you hit one of those with my squaw stick, boom, you know. But yeah, definitely got some, and he was on the bridge and I was over at the base camp. And when we heard the owl, it was like they were mating. They were like really going at it. It was more than one, it sounded like. Okay. And he says, "Owl." I'm thinking, yeah. Like, yeah, I know what an owl sounds like. Let's get it on recording.
Yeah.
I'm starting to sound like Matt. Can I respond? No.
Shut up.
But hey, it was fun and froze our asses off. And then eventually around 1:30, I called it, because I had had enough at that point and I had to work the next day. So, you know what? It was last Thursday. Now that I say that, I remember I had to work Friday. And so, yeah, he's already
Stupid
asked
jobs.
me. Yeah, this obligations. But we've made plans already. He's like already saying, when you available, So I like his enthusiasm. But so yeah, we're gonna have a good night tonight, and not sure if our guest is gonna show up. So, and Nate has to get up in the morning. He has a job obligation too, a job.
Yeah. Stupid thing.
So we might just talk about some paranormal parallels, or formerly known as Wooo.
It's become a negative topic, that's for sure. Just calling it that is bad.
That's why I thought we called it paranormal parallels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll put a cue card up here for that episode.
I just saw something the other day. I'm not on Facebook anymore. You know that. So I'm every time if I ever get a real big Facebook itch, I just get on hers and I look through it, because we're friends with the same people. So
sure.
And there were some people bitching about Woo again. And like I said to you earlier, I think it's more normal than we think. I think they can just remember how to do the stuff that we forgot we could do.
Maybe. But is it we forgot, or that we were never taught?
No, we forgot.
We used to have that capability, is what you're saying?
Sure. Where do you think all the superhero and whatnot, all those stories come from? It's all passed down oral history. And we just fictionalized it, and it's going off in a different direction. But everything starts from somewhere. You had the gods and the goddesses that could do all that stuff in Greek mythology, right?
Right.
All that stuff comes from somebody who saw something they couldn't explain. So it's, even if it's something they couldn't explain, or if it's something they vaguely remember that their grandparents could do, things like that. And I think it kind of like different languages die off. Same thing. Our lives got easier. We have cell phones now. We don't have to, we go to the grocery store. We don't have to survive. We don't have to live. We don't have to try to live.
Right. We
rely
so heavily
on
all this technology.
So if we were still doing the things like we had to do, maybe we could still do it too. You know, the whole made in God's image, you be able to do the stuff Jesus could do.
Yeah, and there's also many stories of people having superhuman strength when a crisis happens or a car falls on a loved one and they lift the car up. You know what I mean? So those are not unheard of. But yeah, I think it's also the whole, we tend to not want to believe also because we're so conditioned and we wrap our minds around certain things, right? That we're more comfortable with. So, being an F&B guy, like I've always said, and you call me Mr. Flesh and Blood, but my response to that, which is it's already tough enough mentioning you're out looking for Bigfoot.
Right. And now you're looking for Bigfoot that can cloak.
If I'm looking for a Bigfoot who goes through portals and comes home and follows me home in an orb, that sometimes makes my credibility factor seem a little lower. Right?
Right.
So,
and I'm not saying all that's possible.
Right.
All I'm saying is, because everything gets turned up. Somebody has something happen and everything gets amplified. That's how we are. We tell stories, right?
Right.
But like the eye glow, that's become almost normal for people to see now. People see that all over the place.
Right.
But that's something I think that they were able to do. They've always been able to do it, and they could just do it. Why can't they have all that spiritual energy like Jesus had?
It's hard to say why, because again, you're talking,
they're both things are flesh and blood.
Well, Jesus, right, was a man, but conceived from the Holy Spirit, right, that entered Mary, and as a result,
aren't we all part of the Holy Spirit? Aren't we all part? So. Right.
Yeah. But again, even with that topic, there's doubters and naysayers, you know what I mean? As there are with every conversation. But there's many believers out there as well. So that's something I've never had presented to me, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Bigfoot's Jesus. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say we crucified and killed him while he was trying to teach us to do the things he could do. You know what I mean? He always said, "You can do as I do." That's in the Bible all over the place. So if he's trying to teach us that we can do those types of things, maybe they just already knew how to do it.
Wow.
It's just a theory.
Oh no, it's amazing though. It's like when Todd talked about the ghost Bigfoots, that blew me away. And speaking of Todd, I was listening to our episode on iHeartRadio today because I just like to check them to make sure they're up on the different podcasting platforms. And so I listened to it on iHeart. The other day I checked that on Spotify. So yeah, it's making its rounds. Good. And we had like 2,500 downloads. Not bad. That's pretty cool. I don't know, not to interject on your theory here. I love it. And it's something that I've never given any thought to, you know what I mean? Right. So like I said, I have to kind of digest it a little bit.
I never ever believed in portals. I've had trackways that in the snow, they could have been something different, but it was trackways that just disappeared into nothing, like where could they have gone? No trees around, like the open field,
Right.
Could have been snowfall off the trees and all that stuff, but
right.
I was always, it's an animal. It's a real flesh and blood animal until I saw some of the stuff I saw. Yeah. And while I still think it's a flesh and blood animal, I don't know that it couldn't have some of those attributes.
Well, like you said, if we are indeed all created in God's image, why wouldn't a relic hominid be included in that, right?
Right.
That goes back to my point, though, that I'm thinking more that it's Heidelbergensis, like Ben Christensen talks about, versus Gigantopithecus.
Right.
Especially after I saw the jawbone. But I don't know. It's food for thought for sure. I think they're pretty amazing creatures, no doubt.
Right. Well, so are we. We just stopped trying to be.
And we've said we use a fraction of our mental capacity in our brains.
Right.
Right. Oh my God. That's mind-blowing. It really is. Our viewers ready to hear this, though? I don't know. I mean, we're talking real stories and real encounters, and now we're going off into philosophical discussions on Woo and
yeah, but it's about real encounters. I mean,
it is. Yeah, no doubt.
And
we've had them. You and I have had them.
That's what I mean. We got to talk about the weird lights and shit that you see.
And we know other investigators too that have reported them to us as well.
Right.
That's
why it doesn't. Maybe it isn't even Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But if none of us talk about it and tell each other what happened, how can we check it off?
I know.
How can we say we're actually following all the leads if we don't talk about that shit
and conducting it scientifically? Yeah,
right.
That wouldn't.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be some crackpot stuff, but you have to eliminate to find out. Right. Otherwise, you're never going to know. So if you just close your mind off completely to that stuff, well, then you're never going to find what you're looking for because you are going to miss one of the turns.
Yeah. Wow. I agree. I totally get what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But like I keep going back to the whole,
we already lost credibility. Oh.
No. That's not. I could care less. I mean, you know me. I'm the only health food store in America with a Bigfoot museum. If I was worried about credibility, I still had 3 new people in today. You know what I mean? But now the real thing is, though, all the reports, all the witnesses and their stories, to me indicates a flesh and blood, on this earth, breathing, eating, shitting individual.
I agree 100%.
And I place them at a higher intelligence level than a great ape or a chimpanzee or some other type of primate. Okay. Maybe even as high and as intelligent as we are in a different way. Like you're saying, maybe they have powers that are unbeknownst to us. Okay. But I do know from the reports and from the stories that I've listened to and heard others share, they do exhibit higher intelligence and compassion and thought and rationale, reasoning, all these things that we attribute only to,
us,
Homo sapiens, right?
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
So, based on that, who's to say if there's not a God Squatch type? I'm not saying Squatch is God. I believe in,
well, if you were a buffalo or if you were a zebra, wouldn't you think God's a zebra?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe they pray to elephants. How should I know?
Exactly.
For me, if I was a zebra, I'd probably think the king of the beast, the lion, was the god, and that I was
but
why
would God eat you?
Because he's hungry.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's true. We'd be eating the body of him.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? You think God is what you are because we're made in his image, but he made everything.
Yeah. No, again, and again, this whole conversation, there's naysayers, there's believers, there's people who are, atheists or agnostics. And that goes along with the whole Bigfoot discussion, right?
Yeah.
And then you get into the Dogman and the oh my god, the Wendigo, right? Shapeshifters, skinwalkers,
The
all that
skin
type
with
of
that,
stuff.
but see, now you're in like almost like a black magic, like a demon type thing.
Right.
That's where a lot of people go with that. So
That's
is that
true.
And I often said, demon wise, that's what we were dealing with up there with Brian up there in New York. You know,
yeah. And I think he leans that way too a little bit. Yeah. Especially with the whole hearing something coming up on us and not seeing it. Right. Now that was happened to him solo once, and then it happened again when he and I were both up there in the winter, and I heard something approaching us, and I went and picked up my therm.
And you caught something though.
And I caught something though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see on therm, which is even weirder. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so much weird shit that goes on.
Right. Yeah. We just have to talk about it. Just put it in its own category, for Christ's sake. Let's just,
But how long were we already recording when I said, okay, I'll talk about it? We made the paranormal parallels episode, right? Yeah. So, okay, I'll do it, But I will say this. I know Art, right? And Regina, my friend, the science teacher, she's always been into the whole intradimensional thing. And so, one thing that drove us apart initially was the fact that she felt like I poo-pooed her thoughts. Yeah. And belittled her as a result. And I've recently, as you know, come to the other side of the discussion and have been more open-minded, like you're saying.
Well, but this isn't a side thing anymore. This is what I'm trying to make everybody realize is you got to have one foot in each side. You got to be straddling the fence on this.
And open to it.
Right. Because if you're on one side or the other, either everything's a freaking Bigfoot or nothing is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you almost have to be a foot on each side to keep you going in the right direction, because otherwise you're going to veer way off the wrong freaking side.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
That's why that's what you always have to have a good Renee.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I've always tried to play was Renee.
Yeah.
However, I just had a thought while we were bringing this up. We should have Regina and Art on to discuss this.
I'd love
in
that,
the future. Yeah.
I'd like to have somebody to bounce these ideas off of.
Oh, Regina would be great, because I tell you, she's been down this road a lot longer than you and I. Okay. But as you know, and even Jacob and I, when we were out Thursday night, at one point I said to him, hey, let's just sit quietly now and project welcoming, kind, good thoughts. And if I wasn't open to it, I wouldn't be saying that kind of stuff.
Right. I know.
And meaning it and like actually putting it into action. So I believe there's the possibility. I'm just looking like you for some type of answer. And by doing the legwork and the research and trying various things, maybe we'll come to some kind of conclusion, right?
At least we can have evidence to say, well, that didn't do crap, but this did. And then you leave that go. We can say, no, that's fictional,
And that's where keeping your Bigfoot journal on hand can help out by making notes on what's, the results are. And again, that's one thing Regina talks about is the fact that she thinks all our electronics and everything interferes with the research. Okay. And how many times have I said having the game cameras and the dash cameras on, well, it's almost a guarantee you're not going to get any footage. Right.
But that comes back to the frequency they're at. They can just feel all that stuff because it messes up their frequency.
Wow. Mind blown. That's really cool.
And that frequency thing, that's something Brian was teaching me about with his
we tried it.
Singing bowls and all that other. I'll tell you what, certain pitches and things really, well, yeah, we actually had
you remember that? He did it in April.
Response, yeah.
And we got a response from him doing the singing bowl.
Yeah, we did.
It was kind of a scary response also. It wasn't your
It
normal.
it was I don't want to say aggressive, but it wasn't
It was eerie.
welcoming.
No, it was an eerie kind of, like
Yeah.
a. And then the geese went off too afterwards. Like, they didn't
Yeah,
like it
something
either. They set them off,
or something got after the geese.
maybe. But I haven't been investigating the bowl for quite some time because I wanted to give it a break.
Hmm.
And I've spoken to a couple other people who were there, and they too felt an ominous presence at the bowl.
Yeah.
And I think you or Terry also felt there was some kind of
Hmm.
heaviness
Terry did, yeah.
associated, right? Associated with that spot.
Hmm.
And I think even Brian, when he solo camped there once, I think he had some kind of a feeling also, a heavy feeling. So I don't know. I mean, like that goes back to what we're talking about.
Hmm.
I know other researchers who have gone, and people too, that thought they were flesh and blood, warm and fuzzy individuals that then came around to a different thought process, thinking, hey, maybe there's something demonic going on here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that's on the opposite spectrum of godlike or creating in the image of God. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's like,
I know. That's why you got to talk about the stuff. Otherwise, we're all just
man,
chasing the
wow.
wrong tail.
I just don't like to think of it in those terms though, because if I'm out there in a tent, right, at night and nobody around, the thought of something demonic or more.
You know what? That doesn't bother me. When Terry and I were in that tent and that one stood on that road and screamed,
Mhm,
I've never been more scared in my life.
right.
And I've gone ghost hunting and I've done all that stuff. It doesn't even make your hair stand up. I mean,
I know.
that almost made me evacuate my bowels, for God's sakes. It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was scary.
And you even said you the way it sounded and the forcefulness of it and everything from where it was,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know if it was a dog man or
Mm-hmm.
something else more sinister.
Right. It was.
Phew. I might have yeah, soiled myself
Mm-hmm.
because again, watching even Willow Creek with the two of them in the tent and there's noises around and Big and Bobo in the background howling.
Right.
Brings me back to that time in my tent. But I don't know, man. It's a lot of food for thought.
There's a lot of stuff we just don't know. And to write off things because you don't maybe agree with it, I think is a bad practice.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you got to believe it. I'm just saying you have to give it the
an
weight that
opportunity.
you
Yeah.
have to give it weight, because if you don't, you're not doing, I don't want to say real research, because you are. You're just not looking at that. You're doing bias research, kind of. I'm hoping I don't
So
piss anybody off.
no. In fact, you know what? There's always going to be somebody who's pissed off about something.
Yeah,
I always
I
say it's
know.
better to be pissed off than pissed on. But hey, um, the fact remains, though, with this type of a attitude shift or a thought process transformation,
Mm-hmm.
who knows? We might pick up some of the 180,000 subs that How to Hunt has by
Yeah.
opening ourselves up to this
Well,
possibility. So,
it's
you like how I did that?
and again, I'm not trying to get anybody that, I mean,
No, we're not just saying stuff because we want to please
no, I
people.
mean,
Right.
I'm an ordained minister, so I'm not trying to be, talk blasphemy or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
I'm just saying, everything gets, what do you call it? Sensationalized
Mm-hmm.
over time, because you
Right.
forget. So you give it a little bit more. And,
No doubt.
that's,
Look at
that's where a lot of this shit comes from.
how about that I forget that there's a name for it, but you tell a story to one person and it
Yeah,
goes around the room.
whisper down the alley thing.
Right? That
Yeah,
changes.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm a lector and I'm still open to all this, you know. So.
yeah.
But no, I've opened my mind up. I'm not gonna deny it, you know.
Mhm.
And
But
all
if you
these
don't
years,
have, like I said, if you don't have a foot in both sides and you're all one or all the other, that's when
right.
you miss certain things,
I
you
was gonna
know?
say you're missing out.
Yeah. Like I
Absolutely.
said, you don't have to, it doesn't all hold water. You know what I mean? Some
No.
does and some doesn't. You gotta, but if you don't check it all, you might miss that one shred that leads you
Right.
to the next piece, you know?
You no doubt. And
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you got to believe it or you don't believe, you know. I'm just saying don't dismiss it all.
so that then brings me to my next point that since this Bigfoot stuff's kind of burned you out a little bit, it's time we start investigating some of these other things and trying to prove or disprove it and
Yeah.
and reinvigorate Nathan's desire to get
See,
out
right
and
away.
every time you try to get out, I pull you back in.
Every time.
That's cool. I already said it. Nathan and I have been talking about it. Like I said, we've been doing this for like a year and what, 4 or 5 months, whatever this is, and having a
Yes.
great time. But you know, all things have to come to an end. No, I'm kidding.
At least every week has to come to an end.
Right, he's getting burned out, and I too have responsibilities and obligations. So we're going to do our best to keep things going, okay? And hopefully you'll keep it on with us. But I
Yeah,
know
we're gonna go for more quality, less quantity.
quality exactly, and that's the thing. I hope everybody enjoyed last week's episode with Paul Pedersen Jr.
I did.
True legend of the Pine Barrens, great musician, songwriter. I'll tell you what, I got his diamonds here for available now, his necklaces, his Pine Barrens diamonds, as they're called. Really neat guy, and I definitely can see us getting together with him in the future, doing some paranormal stuff at his place, right, Nathan?
No, that I'm really interested in sitting
And
around a
then
campfire at his
hanging
place.
out by the campfire and
Yeah,
telling tales. That'll be fun. So, with the
yeah.
weather getting nicer, you were out gardening yesterday. I was out hiking, and
Hmm.
I'll tell you what, the truck's raring to go. Just got the suspension fixed and the valve cover gasket done. It's woo. I love it. So I can't wait to
Hey,
get out there and
everybody
get
has
it
to
dirty.
message my wife and tell her to let me buy a trailer so I can build my camping rig that I want to build.
All right, Terry,
That,
you heard it here first.
yes.
I got a good deal on a pop-up.
Yeah.
I might know somebody who has a trailer actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, everybody. I know it's getting late, and Nathan's got to get up early. So please go to our, other platforms too if you don't already. Check us out on Spotify. We're on Buzzsprouts, iHeart, Amazon, Apple. You know it. Follow, give us a rating if possible, and check out the description where we'll have the links where you can check us out on other platforms and Facebook, whatever the thing is. We just
Whatever
just
that
try
thing is.
whatever that thing is, my face.
Yeah. MySpace. Check me out on MySpace. Yeah.
MySpace. Hey, hopefully you'll stick around for the blooper reel. I have fun putting that together for everybody. I've always enjoyed sitting in the theater and watching the credits, and then they come back on and they do, hey, go home. Go home. It's over. What are you still sitting here? You know? But no, I know we got a couple of comments telling me I should keep the endings brief and just end it. But I'm a blooper guy.
Yeah. I enjoy the bloopers.
You like them still?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
My whole
we,
life's a blooper.
we tend to get a few, you know.
Mm.
I like last week's. I got to take a pee. I'll be right back.
That was a good one. I
got
knew that as soon as I said it and walked away, I was like, well, that's going to be a blooper.
Hit record. You're always good for a couple. I try to give you a few. But hey, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Remember to use STP10 at checkout at YetiBars.net. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And where can they reach us? with questions and comments.
Yeah, questions, comments, squatchtalkspodcast@gmail.com.
Right on.
Respond to this stuff. Don't be mean. You can change my mind. All you have to do is come on here and set me straight.
Yeah, man. And if you have any stories or encounters you'd like to share with us, we're happy to put your story on here.
That's right.
Sabe, Bigfoot, Yeti, whatever you have. Dogman, we're open. I hope this episode proves that we are not above talking about this stuff, okay? And
anything and everything.
Because it's still real, right?
Some part of it is.
At least to the individual, it was.
That's right.
Right? So let's learn. Let's learn together. Nathan, it's been a fun night.
Yes, it has.
You jumping on with us and sticking and staying. So
that's right. Thanks for squatching.
So it's like I can put that in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. And
you're gonna use what we just talked about.
We got some good shit just talking about it stuff. Yeah,
that's fine. That's
you know what I mean? Because if we don't have a guest on, if we don't have a guest on, I'm totally down with talking about this. But
yeah,
I got this, Freddie. This is Squatch Talks podcast. So I kept the first wrapper, sentimental. But let's just do an intro and thank the listeners and plug our new Teespring store and everything. Okay, so.
Flesh and blood fella, you're religious.
That's me.
You're a religious man,
right?
Jesus healed the blind, right?
Raised the dead,
right? Turned water into wine, right? Yeah.
So I'm told. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm told. So why, if a human being can be that spiritual and be able to perform those miracles, why can't a flesh and blood animal that we didn't find yet, Bigfoot, why wouldn't he be able to light up his eyes, and why wouldn't he be able to disappear in some fashion? Woo. Okay. Why? Because and I know a lot of people out there hate woo, absolutely hate talking about woo and all that goes with it. I bet you 99% of them believe exactly what we believe. Jesus walked on water and turned water into
miracles,
right? Healed the deaf and whatnot. Came back from the dead. If one person can have that much spirituality, why can't something else have that? Why not?
That's a good point.
So why can't it be flesh and blood? That's what everybody always says, that you're either woo or flesh and blood, but they're the same thing.
And going back to that other aspect, you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? And like, at least where I'm at, my belief is that they're one and the same, right? So the Holy Spirit is something that you totally don't have any physical evidence of. So that would be called woo.
Well, I think we do have evidence of it, and I think we walk on it.
Well, I believe that we do too.
The earth is the
Holy Spirit.
Most of it.
Call it what you want, right? But
right.
That's an awesome point, and it goes back to what we talked about with Todd also, with the whole ghost thing, and who knows if the energy stays around, right? So possibly. I don't know. That blows me away, man. I don't know. But that kind of puts them up into a level of a higher power, wouldn't you say? If that's the case.
No, that goes back to what I said about ancient aliens, the dude with the hair. They always say that there's no way that humans can go from inventing the car in the 1900s to getting to the moon by 1960.
Right.
Like, we can't do it that fast. And now all of a sudden we have iPhones and all that. we can't do it that fast. We have to have reverse engineered shit from aliens. Well, you're full of shit. I think we're smarter than they give us credit for. But the same thing is, Jesus had those powers. And is it not said that we are made in God's image, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And if Jesus could do it, we can too. We just forgot how.
Right.
So, yes, Bigfoot just didn't forget how. We can do the same thing Bigfoot does. We just have to remember how. Just get back in touch with the spirits and the earth itself, and you'll be able to do it.
Wow.
You'll be able to heal yourself, and you'll be able to.
I believe the body has the innate ability to heal if it's given the proper things, right? And it's funny because Paul Pedersen Jr. actually said to me when he was here, when we were talking about that encounter he had in his backyard. All right.
Yeah.
And he saw white eye shine.
Yeah.
Very bright, big eyes, he said. Remember?
That's what Tira always sees.
And so I don't know. I mean, I saw the white look like a headlamp, but it was just one. It wasn't two. Okay. And so that's a good thing to have to ponder, you know. I don't How about that Paul Pedersen episode?
Yeah, it was good. The music came out great. I really enjoyed the
drone in the beginning.
The drone footage with his music. Yeah, that was really nice.
And it wasn't too long because I asked a couple of people. I was going to cut it in half.
I'd say if he does one for us and you do that every time, then I'd cut it in half. Yeah,
it wouldn't be 4 minutes. No. If he makes one for us, it's going to be a minute and a half. Tops,
yeah.
But I tried. I was editing it in Audacity, and I just, you know what? It just didn't sound right. And it's too good of a song. It's all about the Jersey Devil.
Well, it was fitting to have the whole song
on that episode.
Or his episode. It was fitting. So. It's perfect.
Okay, good.
No, yeah. If it was a regular thing, it would be too long. Yeah,
too much. Yeah, I mean, a minute and a half is really top. I think enough. But
minute and a half.
But and the other comment that I got was that it was good that I edited the drone footage where it wasn't just one long clip. I cut back and forth and stuff. You know what I mean? And I blended a bunch of different clips together.
So it's something different to look at.
Exactly. And did you see the one where I go around the tower? I like that one. That was pretty cool that I figured out that. So, yeah, I watched that like 10 times. I was like, wow. and the music, the song length just fits so perfect so that when we came on, it just like ended and we start talking. So,
I thought it was cool. Great.
And he did a good job, even though his phone was cutting out. The song he performed for us, the Pine Barrens Blues, sounded decent, you know, even though he had allergies kicking in.
I do have to come down. You got to get him to sign a couple of CDs for me, and I'll buy 2 CDs from him.
Okay. Yeah, no, in fact, Deb Kranz, who he mentioned in that episode in the acknowledgments, she came in today and picked up her order, and she said, I'm better off getting the books from him directly rather than through the publishing company. So I'll have him autograph, whatever.
Oh, yeah, a book too. Sure. Yeah, but I definitely want some CDs.
Sure. No problem. I don't know which CD he has. The Lines on the Pines one that I have, I got at the event. You know what I mean? But it's all him. So I'm sure he has them too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he doesn't, at least find me one. If you get out there again, I really like his music. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just noticing the time, and I don't see Andy yet. It's 8:00. All last time I noticed it, and I thought I saw a little lag a couple of times, like where it was frozen and talking. You know what I mean? I think it was that way. Like the image froze, but you could still
paused, or did you?
No, you might have.
I missed the last 10 seconds of you. Oh no!
Everybody hates me. You're a big lovable teddy bear.
I figured,
and it seemed like the image froze, but yet you could still hear you know what I mean? Like a ventriloquist almost. I swear, it's tough to get good help,
Mm-hmm. It is. My internet is unstable.
Yeah, the gods are against us.
It's the whole Santa Claus looking for Bigfoot thing. It's just not talking about UFOs and stuff. Santa Claus isn't supposed to do that. Too many conspiracies in one there. More of a conspirator type, I guess. My mustache is almost big enough, long enough to cover my mouth now. Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
It's like an Afghan on your face.
I know. I can't imagine.
I tried to draw. I rode a motorcycle yesterday, and now I know why my brother-in-law braids his. he does 2 braids down the thing. I thought, wow, why do you? I mean, the knots can't be that bad. It's not just the knots. The wind hit this thing, and it was like pushing my face, my chin into my chest, and it was hard to turn my head.
Wind shear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going after the Tim Allen Santa Claus. I like the one when they have it done out like ZZ Top when he's playing a guitar. That's the beard I'm going for.
Oh, you're just about there. I meant to ask you, do you need beard oil?
No. Apparently my beard doesn't need that.
Okay.
It's soft and luscious all on its own.
There you go. That's good.
Eat a lot of avocados. Like an oil in the
fridge. You hear this? I'm sure you can't hear it but there's like crazy, like everybody around here got their catalytic converter stolen, I think. Like he told me that the submitted jigs and the
dudes, it's what's it?
Yeah. It was
and the hold it straighters.
Yeah. Power washed the engine for me because he didn't want dirt to get in it when he had the valve covers off.
He cursed the sugar sand the entire time.
Well, actually, I took it to the car wash in the morning. It was always squeaking and stuff when I'm coming down the trails, So I'm hoping I won't have that squeaking noise anymore either.
There you go.
I'm looking for my other microphone stand because this one's like about to fall off. That little short I put out there this morning about the pine snake, almost 800 views.
Yeah.
So snakes and bears is what we should be talking about. We get 300 views with Bigfoot. 800 views with a stinking snake.
Yeah. I'm getting these for making, peaches, eating peaches. A peaches eating tree.
Love it. And hey, the Squatches will love it too.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm sore as hell.
I bet. I'll put some CBD balm on it.
Really hard for me to do in another couple of weeks, buddy.
Why? What's going on?
It's going to be daylight longer. I keep telling you that. And you keep bringing me back in. I'm really getting burned out. I don't even know why I'm the one complaining about being burned out. You do all the stuff. And it wasn't that I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it so much.
This is the only way I get to talk to you face to face. I mean, I miss you. I miss you, I know you're just like a homebody now,
Yeah. Again, I'm burned out. Especially when you're sore. Every bone in my body hurts today.
I'm looking for a new co-host.
There you go. This one's bailing on me.
No, I did.
Oh, you just did now.
I already.
I'm up to speed now. I'm up to speed.
We're good.
Okay.
Robert Belai is going to be joining us. I went to go drop off the truck last night after diner, and my buddy Joe said, "Oh, I'll follow you over. Heather can go in and relax, right?" So I look behind me, and all I see is the curb in my parking lot. So I just gunned it, boom, right into the back of Heather's car. The only thing wrong was you can see the trailer hitch indentation on the bumper.
You're lucky.
I am so lucky. Like, she came running out all freaked out and upset, I'm like, calm down. It's okay. I forgot her car was there. That quick. I had just parked it there. That quick, I forgot. I'm like, you idiot. But I got an honest mechanic.
There you go.
That'll be in the blooper reel. Deal.
Cool.
Love you.
Love you too, man. See ya.
See ya. Oh, I gotta stop recording. Thanks for checking out this episode of Squatch Talks Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and give us a like.
and stay tuned for more exciting stories on Squatch Talks.